Hey, I'm Lawrence Monterosa with the Monterosa Real Estate Team. Today, I'm shooting a segment for my small business spotlight in San Jose, California. We're changing gears a little bit today. We're not interviewing a small business, but we are interviewing an individual who's doing, in my opinion, some phenomenal work in the area. And what I'm going to do now is introduce you to Pablo. So, Pablo, go ahead and give us a little bit of your background.
Well, first things first. Thank you for having me, for coming by and just shining some light on the work that we do here. I grew up in San Jose. Grew up in the neighborhood. Kind of came up, rough and wild. From a young age, I started going to juvenile hall at probably seventh grade.
Right.
Graduated to the Boys Ranch and then to the California Youth Authority,
Right.
and then finally made my way to prison.
Right.
I spent a majority of my life, probably 15, 16 years incarcerated throughout that time for
Right.
various things. And just finally got to a point in my life where it was like, it's time to make some changes.
Right.
I've always had these desires in my heart to do better. I just didn't really have the tool set
Right.
and the skill set
Right.
to kind of put those ideas and desires into place.
Okay.
Finally, this last time I came home from jail in 2014, I came home with just this change of mindset, change of heart.
Right.
That was like, I wasn't going to let anything get in my way.
Let me interject right there. What happened the last time you were incarcerated that led to this mindset change? Was there the people you were around? Was it maybe more reading? What was it that you do that?
I would have to say that prior to my last arrest, I had been out for about 4 years,
Okay.
which was the longest time in the history of my life that I had been out consecutively. And in those 3 years, I went to school.
Okay.
I started developing a positive lifestyle,
Okay.
and then I kind of relapsed and fell back into my old way of life.
Okay.
Going back into jail, having seen the potential and the possibilities of a better life out here,
Right.
completely shook me to my core.
Right.
I did a 16 month term, and those 16 months were the longest that I have ever experienced. I
Right.
had finally gotten a glimpse of how life could be and the contrast between where I was at and where I
Right.
should be.
Right.
And just having that awakening while I was in there, just kind of completely changed my mindset.
Right.
I came home, like I was saying earlier, I came home with this determination that I wasn't going to go back. That there was going to be nothing that would stand in my way. That I would reach out to anyone that I could for help, and just try to positively do whatever I could to better my situation.
Right. That's great to hear. To talk a little bit about growing up, I can attest to some of the things that you went through because I went through them.
Right.
We hung around the same circles.
Right,
We did
right.
a lot of the same stuff. But I remember you were always somebody that I always would see out there, and I knew, you were doing the same things I was doing when we were in there getting in trouble. And me personally, I lacked leadership in some areas. I lacked, a father figure that was constantly there. That provided the structure, and not only that, but showed me how to be a man or a young man.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about what you learned being incarcerated and how it affects you, or how you use that to be positive in life now.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to the way that we grew up, you're dead on.
Right.
Not having a lot of positive role models in our life to show us how to do what's right from wrong.
Right.
Kind of left us on our own to kind of figure out our own way.
Right.
That led to being in jail.
Right.
The positive thing about being in jail is there's a lot of structure.
Right.
If anything, there's structure, and there's accountability to
Right.
the people that you're close with.
Right.
You have to make sure that the people that are closest to you are safe, secure,
Right.
and that the time that you're doing is as least stressful as possible.
Right.
Prison and jail can be a scary place for individuals, and
Right.
Oftentimes learning just accountability and making sure that that the things that I carry with me, like professionalism, being able to communicate, and just having a strong and keen understanding of my surrounding at
Right.
all times,
Right.
is things that are transferable
Right.
into this new life.
Right. And I also think, like you brought up accountability. I also think where your word it means a lot, right?
Yeah, most
Where
definitely.
you have to, if you say you're going to do something, or if you're a certain type of person, that has to be what it is, what you say.
Yeah.
those are all great things. And I'm glad to see that you're evolved from that person you were to where you are now. And that's where I want to kind of get into what you're doing with the program you're at. So what's the name of the program?
So the program that I work for is called the New Opportunity Work Program at Goodwill of Silicon Valley. I came into this program myself as a participant
Right.
4 years ago, and it was just an opportunity to get to work and earn some money and some skills,
Right.
so that I could not just get a job but maintain a job.
Right.
Fortunately for me, a position opened while I was part of the program as a peer mentor, and the opportunity was there. I applied for the position and I got the job.
Right.
4 years later, I run the program.
That's,
It's,
that's good.
Yeah, it's a blessing as I continue to just put myself in areas that, when opportunities are available, I reach for them.
Right.
One of the things that we do as part of the program is we create opportunities for individuals that are coming home from jail, coming home from prison, and put them in a work setting.
Right.
Not just to work, but to learn the ins and outs and the communication with your supervisor, what to do with your paycheck,
Right.
how to act in a setting where there's other individuals that may not be from jail or prison, but how to interact in a healthy way, how to deal with conflict, how to deal with somebody giving you criticism in the workplace, just all of the things that could that some individuals have not had a lot of practice in.
Right.
We get an opportunity to do that here at Goodwill for them.
That's great. And I'm sure that individuals are really learning how to, instead of reacting a certain way, they can be a little bit more, if they know what to expect or different avenues of how they can react or be proactive, I'm sure that helps. Talk to us a little bit about those challenges you faced when you came into the program to the, you said 4 years later you're running the program, but I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. Why don't we talk about what it took to get to where you're at?
Yeah, it took a lot of the things that we were talking about earlier, accountability, maintaining your word. I learned that if I say that I'm going to do something, that I always go through and I do it. Integrity is a huge deal.
Right.
A lot of times with a position, even simple as a peer mentor, there's a lot of work that you're doing on your own.
Right.
And being able to take the opportunity that you've been given and make the most of it.
Right.
Even when nobody's looking. As soon as I got into that job as a peer mentor, what I started doing was I started looking at establishing contacts in the community, not just for myself, but to better help individuals that I knew were in the same position that I was in, that they would be able to benefit. So looking at things like housing, substance abuse, and developing a really strong network of employers myself, that I knew that I would need should the opportunities happen. And at that point, when I was a peer mentor, it was just strictly I was in that role and that was it. I didn't have eyes to be a program manager. I didn't see that in my future. But I knew that in order to do my job the best that I could, that I would have to have a strong network, and I started working on that.
So that's funny how you just transitioned and knew that if you wanted to set these young men up the right way, you needed to have those tools and those network, those relationships. And it's funny how it blossomed into the next step, which is the program manager. Tell me a little bit about your day-to-day stuff now, as far as using your leadership qualities that you obviously developed, and your ability to communicate. Tell us about how that's working.
So now the program management side of it is I have a 10-person staff who's responsible for overseeing the day-to-day operations of the program.
Okay.
My job is to make sure that they're in a strong mindset where they could best serve our population, while at the same time developing them professionally as well, which is a completely different side of the brain. You're looking at trying to help individuals that are in a certain moment in their life, and then you're working with a group of professionals that are helping these individuals and try to create pathways. What I'm starting to understand though is that people are people. When you get people down right to their root, and you remove all the labels, you remove everything else, you start looking at how would I want somebody to help me, and that's where you start saying, okay, and I'm still doing it. Like I'm developing not just a group of network people that can help my participants, but I'm starting to develop resources that can help my staff as well, so that we can better serve not just each other, but the people that we serve.
And that's where the selflessness comes in, right? And that's a big reason why I wanted to connect with you and have you put your message out, because and a lot of it goes back to our upbringing. we don't want to show off. But I think in the work that you're doing, it takes showing off to build that. To build the awareness of the program, right? Because there is, I guarantee you right now, there's three type of people that either need this program, want to know how they can help, or know someone that needs the program, right?
Right.
There's those three type of people. Tell me how somebody wants to get involved in those three phases. How could they do that for you or with you?
So the first type of person would be somebody that's either coming home from jail or prison and is looking for an opportunity to get to work. The way that they would get connected with our program is they would get a referral from the Santa Clara County Reentry Resource Center,
Okay.
located at 151 West Mission Street, San Jose, California. It's right across the street from the police station.
Right.
So it's just a walk-in service. It's like a one-stop shop. You go in there and they'll give you connections to employment services, which is the program that I work with.
Right.
Mental health, substance abuse, connect you with your GA,
Right.
food stamps, anything that a person would need is transitioning from jail or prison that is coming home. That's a one-stop shop.
Okay.
Not just for employment, but that would be your first place that you should go and connect. So the second type of person would be, I think, would be employers.
Right.
If you have a small business or you are looking for individuals to work, everybody that is in our program is going to have a background.
Right.
However, that I'm a firm believer that individuals will rise to the level of responsibility that they're given. We're here, we do soft skills, resume writing, mock interviews, but we also have a strong lean towards accountability,
Yeah.
communication, and addressing issues before they become problems.
Right.
So
Right.
every single person that comes to our program has been here. They do a little bit of cognitive behavioral therapy,
Right.
and then we support them for up to 1 year.
Right.
So after they've been placed into a job, we have peer mentors that follow up with them every 30 days for a year. All employers that we work with, we like to have a really good, honest relationship
Right.
with. And if they get support from us surrounding a program participant that has transitioned to a job, we're out there and we communicate back and forth. So we're all about support. So that would be the second person. And the third type of person I would think would be individuals that are looking to donate.
Right.
As people that are coming home, I know that when I first came home from jail or prison, I didn't have a lot of clothes.
Right.
I didn't have, the work clothes that I would need to make myself presentable at an interview. We do have a career closet where we have suits, ties, jackets. So anything in that manner would be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
Again, anybody that's looking to communicate or contact, you can call me directly.
Right.
My name is Pablo Gaxiola, and my number is 408-595-9774. That's my work cell phone number. I keep it on me at all times.
Okay.
If you have somebody that's looking for a job, that is looking for resources, or is just trying to kind of connect, and is coming home from jail, coming home from prison, and they're at a place and they feel like like things are getting overwhelmed,
Right.
you could have them call me, because this isn't just a job for me. This is this is a way of life.
Right. Right. I appreciate that, man. I definitely appreciate you. Obviously, you're chained, right? I respect that because I know how we were, and what you're doing for the community. People don't understand that it takes a lot of work to build a program up and to keep it going.
Yeah.
And again, this is why I wanted to get you on film and have you give your message, because you're passionate about it. I see it. I can tell. And the new program that you're doing now with the cleanup stuff.
Right.
What can you share about that?
So we just got a contract with the city of San Jose to do litter abatement.
Right.
So we're taking out groups of individuals that are either homeless or at risk of being homeless, and we just basically we're out in the community picking up trash, litter
Right.
sticks, garbage,
Right.
cleaning up the areas that are out there that are causing the area to look not as good as it could.
Right.
So that's we're out there 5 days a week, Monday through Friday between like 9 and 1 o'clock,
Right.
hitting various locations and just trying to make San Jose beautiful again.
Did you say you're looking for a driver for that program?
Yeah, I'm always looking for positions. If you know somebody that is in that population as well,
Right.
that's homeless and is just looking to work, we're paying $15 an hour part-time, and they're getting paid cash.
Right.
And then I'm always looking for a good qualified driver to run a crew that's going to be accountable for not just driving the car or the truck, but for maintaining and taking over that project as a whole.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. Pablo Gaxiola. with the Goodwill program, and I definitely want to thank you for sharing
Thank you so
your
much.
your hospitality, your information, opening up about your personal experiences. I think that gives color to what you've been doing,
Right.
and I definitely want to see you be successful. So this is me putting my neck out, you should say. I'm putting my name on the line for Pablo to help my friends and family in any way that they can. Um, Help get this out. Let's share it. And if you want to help with the program, Pablo's given his number. If you want to donate time, if you know someone that needs help, please reach out to Pablo. Especially this time of year, it's holidays, and mental health is a big thing around this time of year.
Right.
So there you have it, folks. Lawrence Monterosa with the Monterosa Real Estate Team.
Have a good one.
Any individuals that you know that are doing phenomenal work like Pablo in the community, I want to know. I want to meet them. Get a hold of me, 408-418-6702. Thank you and have a great day.
Younger.